Why does hamstring injury occur and how can we prevent it in training? The cause of hamstring injury is very simple. The culprit is backside running mechanics. The reason why backside running mechanics can cause hamstring injury is because the anterior pelvic tilt, typical of backside running mechanics, creates an eccentric lengthening of the hamstring prior to foot contact. And what this does is creates a stretch injury mechanism that is the culprit for many of the hamstring injuries we see in running and in field sports as well. Unfortunately, there is a widespread, flawed solution to this problem. Coaches all too often resort to eccentric hamstring training. The reason why this traditional approach to hamstring injury is flawed is because the hamstring shouldn't actually work eccentrically during running. There are two important considerations we should make when training to prevent hamstring injury. Number one, the hamstring is designed to function isometrically. It has a tall, steep force length curve, i.e., there's a very small length at which the hamstring muscle can produce high amounts of force. At a shorter or longer length, the hamstring's strength decreases rapidly and it's at risk for injury. The second consideration when preventing hamstring injury is that it's a biarticular muscle. It crosses not only the knee joint but also the hip joint. There are three movements that influence the length of the hamstring: knee flexion and extension, hip flexion and extension, and anterior and posterior pelvic tilt. All three of these movements influence the length of the hamstring. Hence, to operate at the optimal force-producing length, it's increasingly difficult. The new improved holistic approach to hamstring injury prevention is a more global approach. In particular, there are three aspects that we focus on when preventing hamstring injury. The first aspect is training the abdominal muscles to help bring the swing leg through a little bit faster, so we can actually improve pelvic control, prevent anterior pelvic tilt, and prevent the hamstring muscle from functioning eccentrically. The second aspect is training the hamstring muscle to function isometrically rather than eccentrically. The third and final aspect is actually correcting the running technique to encourage more frontside mechanics, better pelvic control, and an isometric hamstring action.